So Nimrod is the newest card in Marvel Snap, released in the latest season pass, and this day one deck I built for him feels busted, and I don't say that lightly, but we just kept playing it and we just kept winning, and the data on this one was absurd. We had a win rate well north of 70% and an absolutely crazy cube rate that was nearing 2 average cubes per game, because this deck is all about surprising your opponent with a turn 6 Galactus. Now, normally when you play Galactus, you're looking to play it on turn 5 or earlier, using things like Wave or Electro to cheat out that Galactus a little bit early, but that often telegraphs your game plan. The opponent knows exactly what's coming and when the Galactus is coming, and it makes it a little bit easier to play around. Plus, they have a chance to actually beat you in that final showdown on turn 6, playing, you know, whatever answer or threat they might have. But this deck throws all that away and sets itself up to play Galactus specifically on turn 6 by setting up for some big Nimrod plays early. So the goal here is to buff up your Nimrod using things like Nakia, or ideally a Shuri if you can, creating this really big Nimrod. And then when you play that final turn surprise Galactus, it's going to ideally copy over 2 Nimrods, as long as you play them in the right spots. So if you get, say, a 10 power Nimrod from Shuri, then Galactus will be summoning 20 power in the same location on the same turn he activates on the final turn, which can really catch people off guard. This deck also has a backup win condition, or perhaps pivot, with Destroyer. So if the Galactus isn't working out for whatever reason, sometimes you can use Destroyer to make equally surprising and crazy final turn plays. And believe me, this won plenty of games in its own right. You've also just got plenty of complementary cards in here that help you buff your Nimrod in one way or another. Wolverine's another way to get some bodies on Galactus. The Goblin cards can set up really nicely for Galactus as well. Sometimes just Shuri into Hobgoblin into Galactus is more than enough to win a game. So a handful of different directions to take this one, but some big plays off Nimrod, big plays off Galactus, big plays off Destroyer give this a lot of surprise value, and that's why we saw such crazy cube rates on this deck. People just didn't know what was coming. Now, that said, do keep a few things in mind when we talk about this deck feeling really powerful on day one. Number one, still relatively small sample sizes. You know, I put in something like 30 games with this one and it was still feeling good, but that's still not enough to say definitively how good a deck is. Number two, it had this surprise factor that was really working well for it. If people start to learn this kind of deck or start to expect a Nimrod, it may get less powerful over time as people map out the expectations, much like they might have for an Electro or Wave Galactus line. This one's a little harder to play around, I think, especially because it can actually manage its priority much better, since you're not sacrificing your early game, you're playing stuff, you're playing Nimrods. Sometimes you just have priority into turn 6, so something like an arrow doesn't matter in regards to disrupting your Galactus. So I do think it's a little bit less disruptible than a typical Galactus deck, but still, of course, people can learn to counter it over time. And then, of course, too, right, as metas develop, there could be some other crazy strong decks that pop up that answer this one really well, or so on. So really good day one results, felt kind of amazing. You're going to see this deck absolutely dominate some Marvel Snap games. Does that mean you should run out and buy all these cards in the token shop today? No, of course not. Wait a little bit, see how this plays out over the next few days, gather more data. I'll probably be updating you with more Nimrod decks in the future as well. So just stay tuned, swing by my stream, ask me how this holds up. But for a day one deck, this is far and away the best performer I've ever made on day one of a new card, and certainly felt like it had all the chops necessary to be really, really good. And also, as you'll see, very, very fun. Yeah, he does look good in purple, by the way. That's pretty sick. Is this the same guy? Are they fist bumping me for that or some other reason? I don't know. Well, this is definitely not our Galactus lane, so can load up here. Green Goblin left is honestly pretty cool. They're going to be a little stuck there, I bet. Feel a little stuck. So this is perhaps better, although, man, I may have screwed myself. This may not be a Galactus lane. Uh-oh. Might have taken a risk here. I could have saved that for Galactus. Wolverine can kind of go anywhere, right? Oh, that's fine. Okay, saved. Saved, but probably wrong. Ooh, Nakia Nimrod's not bad. Well, if we're going to play this as our Galactus lane, really we do want Green Goblin here, I guess. I need to stop being silly. So I wanted to lock up left, but we don't care. We're trying to play for a potential Galactus, right? We may not hit him. In that case, life gets a little more interesting, but At least for now, that's the plan. So Nakia Hobgoblin's bad, but Nakia Nimrod's good. Let's see, we hit a Destroyer. Are we going to be happy? I kind of doubt it, really. It is 214 power Nimrod, so it's not crazy bad, but I think we really want Galactus, right? Putting a lot of value mid as well, which is good for us currently. Atlantis, that's fine. Would have been great last turn for this Nimrod. Why did I say 14 power? It's not doubling, bro. I don't know why I said that. Well, it is 14 power if we hit Galactus. Not for Destroyer, though. 7 power for Destroyer. I was getting Shuri on my brain. It's not Shuri, bro. It's Nakiad. So top deck Galactus here is really the goal. We still do technically beat that, right? We have a 4 and okay, now 16 and 5 and 2. Yeah, we would still beat this. Oh, we go for it, right? We go for it. We try. I'm not confident enough to snap, but we go for it. Do they read it? Kang again? Yeah, Kang's gonna ruin this deck, isn't it? Arrow could happen too, of course. As always. Oh, we're revealing first for Arrow, though. No, we're fine for Arrow. Arrow's not a problem. Why it's nice to actually be able to play the turn 6 Galactus and have some priority, right? This has to be a win, doesn't it? Seems insane. Close, but yeah, we're big enough, man. That is actually sick, guys. I really like the turn 6 Galactus, man. I feel like they weren't expecting it, right? They may have had an Arrow out there. I don't know. Anyway, this is this game. Pegasus? Dude, I think we just Hobgoblin left and go for it, right? Like Scorpion mid, Hobgoblin left. The Soulstone's a little bit of a pickle, but the thing is, right, we know that they're already occupying 2 spaces. I think that's okay. Like 2 spaces gone means they just don't have a lot of options. And we just set up for the Galactus on 6 with whatever options, Nimrod or Wolverines or whatever. I think the space being occupied is worth more than the debuff, basically. My logic. This Soulstone looks wacky with a rainbow, by the way. Okay. Let's keep it rolling. Yeah. Green Goblin as well. Let's go. Sure. Shuri next turn. Armor is totally fine. We need to think a little bit about Arrow potentially, I guess. It's always a bit of a risk. That means Galactus is going to happen on 6. Maybe play here to try to win priority a little bit better. Since we know this is never getting priority, we might be able to here. Nimrod would go mid here. Wolverine is the next best draw, but not very good. It's really Nimrod we want to hit here, right? Nimrod, yes! Love you, buddy. All right, Nimrod mid is good, and then we hope to hit the Galactus here on 6. Hopefully no Arrow stuff. Okay, cool. And we have priority, so we don't have to worry about Arrow. This is perfect. Great stuff. Perfect. I mean, no Wolverine or Nova, but you know, otherwise, exactly what we're looking for out of this deck, really. Staple example. I mean, you know, there's still, well, no, I don't think there's any disruption potential when we have priority, right? That's, again, what makes this deck so interesting. Having priority is really nice. they must feel a little behind and at risk here, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a retreat. I mean, they can flip mid. I don't have a lot of luxury there, but that Nimrod's got to be making you really nervous. Oh, they go for it. I wonder what they played. This is wild. This is just such a crazy line, dude. I love this so much, man. The turn 6 Galactus is a cube master, man. Chill 22 extra power there at the end. Or, well, Soulstone made it 22. Cool. This just Galactus always destroys left to right. Yeah, so you want to play your Nimrod in the leftmost of the 2 destroying locations. As you saw, I played it mid there. If I had played it right, I would have only gotten 1 Nimrod on the Galactus location. Now that said, there might be scenarios where that's right. If you think, for instance, it's gonna like flip priority in your favor and you want to dodge something like an arrow or a Cosmo or something, right? It might, like in that scenario, I didn't really need 22 power worth of Nimrods. If I thought that playing Nimrod right was gonna give me a priority advantage, then I absolutely could have played Nimrod right and just taken a single Nimrod. Oh, okay. Kind of a neat hand here, but negative zone, not ideal. So can definitely put like Nimrods and stuff there. That's fine. Galactus mid actually should be okay. Technically a little risky because Nimrods may not be the biggest cards there. But I want to play this Okoye. I guess I could put her left. It doesn't hurt anything, right? And then maybe Nakia right or mid, depending on which of these is the better Galactus lane. Because this is not a permanent debuff, so it's okay. I do lose priority if I go here, probably, which is a little bit bad, potentially for arrow disruption, but we'll see. That does read a deck that could have an arrow for sure. Oh. Interesting. We're gonna go Shuri Nimrod, so I can do this, but man, if I hit Galactus, I am giga sad, I think. Maybe not that sad. Shuri is still pretty cool. Hobgoblin's still pretty cool. I mean, he's -6, so he's not as cool, but oh, they like that. Uh-oh. I mean, do we ever put Galactus here? Because I do potentially get the Nimrods and stuff, right? Like, just play the Galactus here. There's no risks other than Destroyer. I don't know how that order works. Does Destroyer destroy the Nimrods in that case? I don't know. This is a weird. This changes a lot of our numbers and thoughts here. I'm not sure how to play this out. They got a Sunspot and a Red Skull. Oh my. Don't get Galactus. Don't get Galactus. Don't get Galactus. Don't get Galactus. Okay, that's fine. So now we have to organically draw Galactus, or play for Destroyer actually could be good too. But Shuri Nimrod left is nice. Thoughts on Nimrod? I mean, dude, I don't know. This deck is working pretty well so far. It's not always Nimrod that's doing it, but we're at an dude. These stats are insane. Are you kidding me? Dude. Oh. Okay, so now we're gonna be going for Destroyer line. We just have to decide where that's happening. I guess I needed to play Destroyer left in that case. I'm gonna get a 14 power Nimrod here that puts me at 16 and 4 is 20. Doesn't always beat a Sunspot. Destroyer can't go mid in that case. I don't want to play the Destroyer right because of Quantum Tunnels. I have to play it left if I actually want to destroy the Nimrods, right? Can't play the Nimrod there. I mean, this Nimrod locationing doesn't really matter, I guess. Well, I want it to go mid. No, it does matter because I want it to go mid, right? No, I need to play it here and the Destroyer here. Yeah, that's the move. Oh, I'm losing the Nova though. He's only worth 1. He gets destroyed. I don't have a Nova. I don't beat Red Skull here. So the goal here would be to try to win mid and left, but I don't know, man. That seems hard. Yeah, that seems impossible, actually. Like, this doesn't win, right? It's... By the way, what's up with this 3-power Taskmaster? I guess that came off the Quantum Tunnel, huh? It's like, how did this land there? Nova goes away. This goes to, it's 15. Here it goes to 17 and 15 here. They don't play mid. I mean, it's not impossible. I'm really worried about Arrow in particular, though. They might play Arrow here, though, because they're winning here. Yeah, they go to 13 mid. Both of these lose. This is actually winnable. If they Arrow left in particular, let's see. Arrow right. That is not as winnable. Does this stick, though? It stays, right? Oh, the Nova stayed, too. It's the armor's back. That wasn't the plan, but we take it. I mean, the Nova actually wasn't even necessary because the Destroyer sticks because of the Arrow. I thought they might Arrow here and we'd be fine, but Arrow here is fine too. Let's freaking go, dude. Mojo World, okay. Not a good spot for Galactus for us, so we can start dumping stuff here, I think. Okay. This is working out all right. Deadpool makes Green Goblin a little bit risky because they're going to be destroying cards. We could go Cosmo though. We have the advantage here. Let's just screw them, right? Let's snap into Cosmo. This is a game I don't really see playing out in a fun way, so let's just abuse the Cosmo advantage here maybe. They could still have a Killmonger, of course, to get through to this Deadpool, but hopefully this is really disruptive nonetheless. Oh yeah, Wolverine as well. Okay, so Shuri's awesome. We can put her here. Shuri, we don't have actually the big payoff at the moment. We kind of need... There's the Killmonger. Okay. Getting some nice buffs off our Nova. That's cool. Can their Deadpool really get big enough now is the question, right? Oh, dude, it's Nimrod. Oh, dude, we can still top deck Galactus here. He's going to be 12. Is that worth it to play? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Not always, but sometimes. 12 power Nimrod, man. Let's go. Hey, Little Cleve, thanks to 7 months. Wave, but not active. Oh, just the Destroyer, dude. That's gotta be the play, right? Well, I see that. It's a little risky, technically. Maybe I actually put it here. Like, putting it here is also pretty reasonable, technically, right? I just hate that I'm not using the Nimrod doubling, you know? Snap! What's the game plan? Snap for 8? Like, see, if I do this, I preserve 4 and 7. I preserve 11 power. If I do this, I actually gain 12 power. Like, it's more total power, although you risk Mojo World, because I only have 1 card in Mojo World. But you kind of have to imagine they're not going to play Mojo World, right? I think they're going to play an Arrow left and expect to win that way. And then I just destroy your left and beat the Arrow. I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, I was very wrong. They arrowed mid. But that's also fine. Nimrod wins right, so. Cool. Really interesting snap. I'm not sure. I mean, this was, I think this was the statistically, well, I don't know. They played 2 cards, so I did take a little bit of a risk that they could have played 2 in Mojo World. I guess if Arrow's here, though, I win mid, so maybe it doesn't matter. Because this is big enough to beat these 3. Yeah, I guess that was always a win. We added 28 power this final turn, basically. Okay, Shuri Hobgoblin is another way to make a turn 6 Galactus just really good, right? It doesn't have to be Nimrod necessarily. This is kind of the backup condition at the moment. Monster Metropolis is not actually as good for us for this build with Galactus. We're not likely to have the highest power thing, but it might be necessary because Eternity Range obviously is a huge risk with a rock. That may not be a Galactus option at all. So let's just try this for now. That's a good Galactus spot. We'll put a goblin there. That's fine. Oh, Galactus in hand too. Okay, this is lining up really, really nicely. So Shuri mid, Hobgoblin right, and then Galactus on 6, hopefully. It would be kind of cool if we had priority. Maybe we put, yeah, Shuri mid helps us probably achieve that a little better. Fortunately, we're stacking the Hobgoblin right. So we are at risk of disruption through like arrow or whatever if we don't have a lead into, which we're not gonna have a lead. Ooh, this is a little worse maybe, but I could win priority back here. I mean, I don't, let's see, it's not really worse, right? Because this is 20 power on the Galactus lane. The Hobgoblin's only 16 power on the Galactus lane. And we want this to go left, right? Because that'll move it mid as well. Okay, let's try this, man. This is the goal for sure. God. I hate Leech, dude. Leech is the freaking worst. Well, we lose, obviously. I don't know. Let's try to snipe a win here, but seems incredibly unlikely. If we beat this Leech player, dude, like, get wrecked. Is that Dr. Doom? Odin Goblin? Oh, that's fine. Ah! Get wrecked, Leech player. We don't even need our cards. No, that makes me happy. That makes me so happy to be a Leech player like that. I mean, I'm a Leech player too, right? But here's the thing about Leech, right? When you're playing Leech, you know that it's awful. You just have to accept it. But when you're playing against Leech, you can trash talk all you want. You get immunity. Trash talk immunity. All right, this is no Nimrod, no Galactus, but we got a cool little Destroyer hand here, maybe. Destroyers felt good, by the way, guys. It's currently been our only win condition, I guess. So Galactus is not good left and not good mid. Arguably, maybe okay mid, actually, I guess, if we got the right assortment of stuff. But we couldn't play like a green goblin to load it up early or whatever. Strange Academy is fine for Galactus. Yeah, that's okay. Hold up. Squirrel Girl definitely makes me think there's going to be some destroy component here, so the green goblin is a little bit risky. But they're going to be going into their final turn with no power in this location, right? Oh, that's good for us after the Deathlock. Because all these cards are going to move elsewhere if we're going for the Galactus right. But we need, because of that, we need to get something cool to happen. We need a Nimrod to come down because we're not going to have any power right on turn 6 at this rate. Beast, the Goblin, and the Deathlock. What? Okay. Interesting. Nimrod? Shuri Galactus, man. That's just not a win condition, right? We could just go Shuri Hobgoblin right, maybe. I don't know. Shuri Galactus does not feel like the win. What do you guys think? I don't see it happening. We got to put her here because she won't reveal dimensions. She won't activate on Cosmo. So replaying that green goblin, that's fine. Green goblin mid. Okay, that's good. I mean, are they gonna be able to play 4 cards left and beat a 16 power Hobgoblin right? I don't see it, right? 3 cards left, I guess, is not impossible because they have a pretty small and cheap assortment of stuff. we think. But will they beat 8 power? Yeah, maybe, right? Actually, yes, maybe. No Wolverine, no Nimrod. It's a 5 power Galactus enough to win this. There's no way, right? There's no way. I don't know. They snapped. This is a really risky one. We got that 8 cube game earlier, though, so I'm going to go for it, I think. Okay, hopefully Hobgoblin's just big enough, right? Oh, they went for the Shang-Chi. Yeah, that's funny. We definitely ducked under that. Yeah. That's a good win. Interesting deck from the opponent. Shang-Chi, Beast, Bucky Barnes, Yondu, Deathlock. Maybe some kind of null thing going on there. A lot of like different destroy type cards. Okay. Oh, you're right. Galactus would have won, actually. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, that's funny to see. All right, we need Shuri really to have the dream hand here. Oh, oh my God. Where does Galactus want to go? He can go. We actually don't really want to play other cards on our Galactus. We don't even really want to play Galactus on 5 either, for the record, right? So it's gonna be the final turn. It doesn't really matter. Elysium's gonna be active to them. Let's just make it Lemuria because that's easy. I think they're more likely to put a card here, which means we're gonna lock up their power distribution a little faster. We want to put Nimrod mid in this case still, right? Oh, Sauron, yeah, that's small. Does mean they have potentially a pretty big card. Definitely don't want them to have DC open. I know that. Hobgoblin here hopefully really locks them down. And then we Nimrod mid on 5. That gives them a little more flexibility, interestingly. They don't play another card here, do they? I don't think they do on turn 4. It's too early. It's too early to play another card here. There's no way. They can't. It's not acceptable. You know, we could actually Galactus on 5 now, too. Again, it does show them our hand a little bit better because they can maybe play off this Sunspot. But I think we can just math this out, right? Sunspot max here is able to gain 11 power, which, well, on that argument, I guess, again, we don't really need to, right? We can just do Galactus Nimrod and be fine. Because even if they just pass, they're going to exactly 6 power. Does this risk any disruption? It does risk an arrow, but that could also come right now. I guess on that argument, we should do it now. Because I can make a better play next turn in case of an arrow, right? Let's not... I think you should snap here, but I'm not going to snap because I want to see the game end. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So now we don't have to worry about arrow, and now we can just play Destroyer for the win. Cool. I think this plays right to get around the final turn arrow. Although I mean, arrow's weird for them because they don't have a losing spot, but it just risks the Galactus, right? This is actually a fight spot for Galactus later, so we can put our other cards mid. Okay, I mean, we do have a great setup for this, honestly. Green Goblin on 3. Hobgoblin on 5 might be risky, but we'll see, because, well, I don't know. I guess if they lock up on 5, we could just destroy away our Hobgoblin, so it's not actually that much risk. I think we'll probably still go Hobgoblin on 5, right? Oh, dang it. Misty Knight. Like, I think they're gonna play like an Ultron later. That's 13 power. I'm trying to figure out if I can get enough power, right? Like, I can't Shuri, so I don't think I can get enough power. My max power is gonna be 15 plus 2 is 17. I'm gonna go up to 15. I think they're gonna easily get to 15 because they have 3 turns basically to add only 10 power. I think that's That's a Wolverine and Destroy. Destroy how, man? there happens to be a problem. Yeah, Cosmo pretty much owns that.
Escaped.
So like you can have Galactus anywhere and just have the Nimrods. You know, you want the Nimrod to be in the location of the two getting destroyed. You want the base Nimrod in the left one. But Galactus can go anywhere and still achieve that goal, right? So you can have Galactus here and a Nimrod here. You can have Galactus here and a Nimrod here. You can have Galactus here and a Nimrod here. Does that make sense? If you put Galactus left while Nimrod is on the right, you only get one Nimrod. Correct, but you can put Nimrod mid. That's what I'm saying. That's why you heard me talking about leaving a space open mid. I said, hey, we need to leave a space here for a Nimrod. So there's always a way. So no matter where Galactus is, there's always one location that's getting destroyed first. Does that make sense? Let's start loading up for a potential Galactus lane here. I mean, we could just keep playing Scorpions like a jerk. I mean, it kind of does the same thing as the Green Goblin in a weird way. Stream's lagging a bit. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Aeronautics, is that making sense, man? Or are you? I don't know. Green Goblin might be better, but Scorpion's funnier. I know how demoralizing this can feel to people sometimes. All right, so Shuri here, Nimrod mid. Oh no. For the reason we just described, we want Nimrod left, Galactus right. Yeah, that's fine. We might go Hobgoblin too, though. If we think that's a better way to win. We'll see. Do we trust the top deck Galactus? It's a 1 out of 4. It's also good with a top deck Destroyer, I guess, too. So it's kind of a 50-50 here. It's not like this is a terrible play in its own right either. To the Jubilee, it's negative. I love it. That's really funny. Yeah, it didn't hit either, man. It's kind of hard to trust just a Nimrod here, you know? The opponent has to be thinking shenanigans, but is 10 power enough to win? I mean, it's not enough, because we know we've debuffed their hand a lot. Even something like a Magneto would be a real risk for them. 4 cubes is a lot, though, for missing our win condition. Can we really play out 4 cubes missing our win condition? That seems risky to me, right? I mean, do we even put it mid here, by the way, just to swing? They're not going to add cards mid, right? They're adding cards. They're going elsewhere. But they might be expecting the 10 power Nimrod to flip here. They could add something small here. I mean, a retreat is definitely the safest bet, but I kind of want to see this out. The Scorpions are giving me a little bit of false hope here. Oh, he's 11. Oh, but the Shuri. Yes. The Scorpion hope, dude. He only got hit by 1 Scorpion. I said even Magneto's 10, but the Shuri pull saves it, dude. That was the only pull, so. Okay, this is an interesting Destroyer hand. That's risky for Galactus. New York is actually fine for Galactus. We can have that work. So we can Green Goblin left. We know they're pretty locked up already on spots. It's the person we played earlier with the Cosmo, right? They played the Misty Knight early? Surely they don't play the Cosmo and Green... Come on, dude. They don't do it again, right? Come on. There's no way, right? There's no way they play the Cosmo here. No. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, actually, really fine, because left is where we wanted to go anyway. So completely fine. Oh, that's good news. Okay. This doesn't really matter much, right? I need a place to play a potential Wolverine or Nimrod. Wolverine can go here, Nimrod can go mid. I wonder if there's any logic to that. They're more likely to play here. This lets me Hobgoblin. I don't know if we can risk the Hobgoblin on 5, because if it backfires, we just straight up lose, right? Cosmo mid would allow me a Destroyer pivot, but I don't think that ever wins the game anyway. So, it doesn't seem worth it. If we hit Nimrod, we'll go for that. I think that's a little safer than the Hobgoblin here. If we go... Yeah, without the Nimrod, oh boy, you want to do this, but... Boy. They're not expecting a Hobgoblin, are they? Boy. I mean, Nakia is just not good enough, right? We only have Nova. There's no Wolverine or Nimrod, so this doesn't win the game. Destroyer doesn't win the game. We kind of have to. If we want to win the game, this is the only way to do it. So this, if they hit it here, it's kind of the same as us just playing Nakia, because it loses, both lose. So we have to just try to play for the win here. Seems like it might have worked. Nice. Very cool. All right. They're revealing first. Does anything mess this up in any way? Like any, you know, like Destroy a Nova, but it's not enough power. No, I don't think it does. I guess an arrow always, but you know, that's kind of a given. Arrow always messes up everything. We can't play around arrows too hard. This doesn't seem like an arrow deck, right? Okay. Yeah, this is like an OG Galactus victory, dude. It's old school. Just gobbling your way through it, man. We got lucky on that debris, honestly. That could have really screwed us. You know, I will say again, though, were they actually expecting the Galactus here, I wonder? Did our deck signal Galactus to them or not? Yeah, so basically climbing is going to be almost like twice as fast, really, if you're climbing a lot of ranked floors. I guess everybody's generally climbing 3 ranked floors, but, you know, people could climb more now if they're starting from a lower number. I was gonna ask, but did they turn that on already? They announced it today, but has it been turned on? Like, if I hit 80 today, am I gonna go to 81 or am I gonna go to 85? Not that I think that's gonna happen today, but just out of curiosity. This is a decent Galactus lane. Could be a little bit risky if the opponent happens to be a Patriot deck or something, but generally speaking, should be okay. Oh, that made my goblins so much worse. Still could use them with Cosmo, though. Well, we don't have to hurry on the Galactus here, but honestly, Shuri Galactus now is a pretty good play, too. Just chill 12 power, right? That's pretty fun. Ant-Man, okay. Cosmo me? Cosmo me? Cosmo me? Nakia as well on the Galactus, dude. That's actually pretty sick. It's now a 16 power Galactus. Okay, I like it. Am I really? Oh, Cosmo! He ruins the Nakia, but he makes the Hobgoblin and Green Goblin so much better. My own Cosmo as well. If these Hobgoblins are good enough, like, we have to make a decision, like, are we actually playing for Galactus or not? 12 power Galactus is still a pretty cool idea, I think. I like him right as well. So also, do I play the Shuri now because we're turn off? It would be really cool for a Nimrod. So maybe I do. We could also actually play a Destroyer too. 30 power destroyer, but that would ruin the Galactus plan a little bit. I mean, we can skip a turn if we need to, but if we hit the Nimrod, this is a little bit better. We just have to decide if we think a 12 power Galactus is enough to win. Not 16 anymore, 12. Is a 12 power Galactus enough to win? I'm a genius. So now we're looking at a 16 power Galactus line. With Nova actually a little more. I feel pretty good about that, right? We want the space for the Nimrod here. Oh no, these are 20. No, never mind. No. Shuri makes these 10 each. 20, 26 plus, I don't know, 28 or something. Nova's hitting one of these Nimrods, I think. Spectrum's fine. Oh, we're totally chill. This is GG, right? I'm not gonna snap. It's too late, and I want to see the end of this game. This has to be game, though, right? Any reason for me to play a card? They're revealing first, so Arrow here would technically be a risk, but this doesn't stop it anyway. 2 cards left for Arrow? Oh, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, actually, that's pretty smart to stop an Arrow left, because the Arrow right would be fine. 2 cards left is actually the answer. That's really heads up. Oh! Geniuses, dude. Actually geniuses. Chat, you guys are geniuses. I love it. 2 cards Arrow. Denial, dude. That's beautiful. Actually 500 IQ, yeah. That's great. Also just a great win here. Cool. The peak saved us. That wouldn't have been possible without the peak. We lose that without the peak because we don't have energy to do all that.